everybody, it's Gina. I'm BrownieKnits, and I have a guest with me today.
I'm Christina Wall from A Knitter's Life. So we're podcasting together today.
I know, and we'll try not to have it be 3 hours or laugh the whole time, but maybe you want us to laugh.
It probably will be 3 hours. We'll just turn you off after a while.
Yeah, no kidding.
I think the last time we got together, it was 5 hours.
Yeah,
and
at the coffee shop.
At the coffee shop, and we didn't realize that 5 hours had gone by, so it was quite funny.
Yeah, it was like that.
It does.
But I haven't told Christina this. My husband's downstairs, and he's going to make us lunch, so we're being catered to today.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is
Welcome
really
to
nice.
Casa Canals. So
Canals Bistro. That's really nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, so. Well, I tried a new salad recipe on Thanksgiving that was really good. And I kept thinking, Christina would love this.
Oh.
And then he said, well, what do you want for lunch on Saturday? And he's like, you know, that salad you made on Thanksgiving was really good.
Yeah.
Christina would like it. So he's going to make that and then potatoes and stuff.
I do like salads. I don't know.
It was really good. Well, I'll put a link to it on the show notes.
The salad that you had too when we were last together. It was a wonderful apple and walnut and there was
I think it had
cranberry
cranberries
dressing
in it.
Yeah.
And then it had a cranberry vinaigrette dressing that I made. And this one is kind of similar. It has a lot of the same ingredients. The dressing is different.
Okay.
And there's feta cheese on this
Oh,
one.
yum.
And there was one other thing that's different that's escaping my mind right now. But anyway.
My mom made a really good salad for Thanksgiving. It was wild greens with spinach in it, and then it had roasted red beets and roasted yellow beets and walnuts and feta cheese and oranges.
I'll have to get that one too.
Really good. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds yummy.
I think she had it at a restaurant and then just recreated it for us.
We do that all the time.
Yeah, because restaurants are inspiring. That's one of the reasons.
Well, they always have better salads than what I feel like I can come up with on my own at home. But I thought it was unusual for. We just had here in America. We just had our Thanksgiving on Thursday.
So happy late
Thanksgiving! Happy Thanksgiving! But it's very unusual for the favorite dish on the table to be the salad. But that was the case at my house anyway. So
that's fun.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Worked out.
The favorite dish at our house was I decided to try smoking a turkey, and I was just telling Gina and her husband that I had this great plan. I had the recipe, and I was really excited about it. But then on Wednesday, I started getting cold feet. Like, oh no, can I really do this? We just have a grill. We don't have a smoker, and
it was really cold that day.
It was really cold. It was. We had snow flurries.
Yeah,
we
had our road was covered.
Yeah. And I thought we were going to get more. It was funny because it wasn't in the forecast.
No, not at all.
But all of a sudden it popped up, and the boys got excited. And but so I was asking my mom, what should we do? What should we do? Should we really do this, or should we pop the turkey in the oven? And she's like, let's just ask YouTube. So she put in how to smoke a turkey on a grill, and up popped a video, and it was a great video, and it gave us the confidence we needed, and we did it, and it was really yummy. So
it looked delicious. You had a picture on your Instagram, and it looked really good.
I thought it'd be fun to Instagram things for. I have a sister-in-law over in Germany, and she oftentimes misses the holidays because, of course, they don't celebrate Thanksgiving over there. So it's fun to share, so she can participate. So anyway,
it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, we went down a little early. My brother had to work on Thanksgiving, so we went down a little early the weekend before, and I got to hang out with my little nephew.
Aww.
And he was so funny. He started preschool this past fall. And at preschool, they had made a turkey out of a toilet paper roll.
Oh, how cute.
So he saw a complete sucker in Aunt Gina and thought she would craft with me. And boy, was he right. We made 5 turkeys.
Aww.
And I talked him into letting me bring one home for my Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, it's so cute.
So here's his little turkey.
Oh, and the thumbs and the fingers. I love it.
I think this one was my hands that he drew. He gave me really big thumbs.
Oh, hey, that's okay. He was tracing. He was,
Yes,
I love the eyes. I love this.
I know. He originally drew this one with one eye, and then when we went to tape it on, he was really freaked out that it only had one, so we had to add. That's why he has.
That's great that he
two different
recognized it
colors
though, because
yeah.
sometimes they're like, oh, one eye, you know.
Yeah.
They just. That's so cool.
I thought about putting him on the Christmas tree.
Yes. Why not?
Yeah.
That is
So
so
that was
cute.
fun.
Well, it's fun because isn't it sometimes our grandmas and our aunts and who get involved if their family isn't crafty, it's
My mom didn't. I think she could sew when she was much younger.
Okay.
But she didn't have any craft gene in her. And so I got it off on both of my grandmothers and then all my aunts.
Isn't that neat? So in some ways you're doing that again.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's really cool. So keep going.
Yeah.
If he likes it, keep going.
And then on Thanksgiving Day, it was just Patrick and I. So we decided, and the dogs, and we decided that we would just do our own little meal. So I got all inspired after I watched your last episode.
Oh,
and so I was like, I'm gonna plan out a big meal and for 2 people. But I cut everything in half.
Oh, perfect.
So we really don't have any leftovers as of now, which is a reminder that Patrick loves my stuffing so much. I really have to make sure I don't have that. Because I did a Mexican stuffing that back when I worked in-house at the publishing house, I had a large team. At one point I had 15 people. And so every Thanksgiving we would have a pitch-in.
Okay.
And I would bring them the protein, so usually a turkey, but sometimes a ham. And then everybody would bring a dish. And it was so funny. It became like a family where you're like, oh, she makes the great stuffing. So poor Gloria. Gloria always brought the stuffing. And it's
so
really
fun.
good.
That is so fun. I think the fun is the circles of community that we create for different seasons in our life.
Yeah. So I had a dish on the menu from like family, one from, just different things like that. So that was kind of fun. And it wasn't intentional. It's just what you discover.
Yeah.
And then we decided to go to a movie after. And I won't talk about the movie. It was kind of an inappropriate movie. Although we thought it was funny, but it was very inappropriate. But anyway, we were standing.
Now we're all going to be curious.
I know.
Aren't we? We're going to be like,
what's out in America? You can probably guess what it was. But I'm pretty eclectic in my music and my movies. Like I'll kind of watch the whole
gamut.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we were standing there and we were stuffed, but we were thirsty. So we were getting some drinks, and these 2 teenage girls walk up to us, and they said, "We're out doing random acts of kindness for Thanksgiving, and we'd like to buy your concessions for you."
And
it was, I know, it was so sweet.
That is so sweet.
It was so sweet. So they bought us our drinks.
Wow.
And I sat through and cried through the premieres because I just thought it was really sweet. Wow. So, yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I thought it was really sweet.
That is a really good thing to do.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I know I said thank you, but I'm not sure that I got much more out after that because I was afraid I was going to start crying in the lobby. So I doubt that they're watching, but it's kind of a good reminder to everybody. Like it really can really touch somebody.
Yes.
And there are good teenagers out there.
Wow,
So,
I am blown away.
Yeah, it was really sweet.
That is so good to do. Wow. Yeah. So it was a Thanksgiving afternoon or
yeah, it was. I think the movie's like 1:30. So.
Wow. I don't think we can top that.
The
rest
really
of this podcast.
It was really sweet. So I thought I'd share. Because I thought that was really.
It's encouraging that those things do make a difference.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Wow. Well, one of the fun things for Thanksgiving, I was cooking, and I think I showed it on my last podcast, my big book that I have of all of our Thanksgiving dinners in it. Well, since 2006. I don't have 2004, which was the first year JK and I were married. We had Thanksgiving on our honeymoon, which was fun. And we cooked it. It was so fun. And then 2005, I don't have that year written down, but I did host that year. So, but 2006 on through 2014, I have in my book. And John he discovered it, and he was like, "Oh wow! Well, Mommy, read this one. Cool. This is." And then he had me read the whole entire book to him, which he just loved. Yeah, he thought it was so fun. Cool.
And when they're older, like they'll have that to look back on. That's really cool.
It gave me incentive to write more down, and to even write more than I do down in the book. Because if he enjoyed it so much, and he really, he wanted me to read it twice to him, which was really neat.
Sweet.
And the year that he was born, he wanted me to read that
one.
one.
That's cute.
So it was really cute. So.
And if you haven't seen Christina's pictures on Instagram, she is like a little Martha Stewart with dinners. Like, it's crazy. Her tables are always so beautiful. And I do the same thing every time because I'm like, that looks okay. I'll just keep doing that. She's very creative and has a beautiful table and beautiful food all the time. So.
Well, it's my mom and my sister's influence. It's just, we all love to do it. And
you could print your Instagrams and put those in the book.
Yes, I could.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Really
cute.
That would be really cute.
I think they could.
Yeah,
I remember that year. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I should do that because then we would have pictures as well as the written. Yeah. Okay. Good idea. That's why we need to be sitting here with our idea books open.
So I haven't really talked about this on the podcast before because I didn't want to look like I was just ripping off everything Christina does.
Oh,
but Christina showed me her journals. I think it was the end of last year.
I think so, yeah.
And so when I was recuperating earlier this year, I went through I had a huge stack of knitting magazines, and I really never look at them. There are only like a few things in each that I wanted. So I was trying to make space for more yarn. And so I went through the magazine and pulled out what I wanted. And then I have Patrick, my husband, used to collect postcards all the time. And so I had all this huge stack of postcards. And so I went through and created a journal myself.
I love it.
And it's really beaten up. I use mine for the whole year.
You know what I do? I put clear packing tape.
I'm going to do that.
Yep. And just strips of it. I mean, you can see it's wrinkled a little bit.
It looks, and it gives it a nice gloss.
And then if your kid spills coffee on it, just wipes off.
Yeah. So
or your dog.
Mine stays in the knitting basket, so it gets pretty beat up. So on my Christmas list for Santa, he is going to bring me materials for my journal for next year.
Fun.
But I use mine a little bit differently. I used to be a manager at a publishing house, and I noticed that the way I'm using my book is kind of similar to how I used to organize myself there.
That's so cool.
So I use mine for a lot of design work.
Okay.
So I have things in there, if I am designing a new...
Oh, that's so pretty.
So, for example, this is a card that my aunt made me, and so I pulled off the front of it, and then that's the beginning of a new design.
Oh, fun.
So, but I also have a Christina tab right there. So whenever we get together, I always have a new page that I mark Christina, because we write everything down that we talk about, and then we go and consume all these podcasts or check out new patterns
or new yarns.
Yeah, or a lot of times we'll get design ideas from each other, or we'll have something bouncing around, and I'll say, well, "What do you think? Is that would people want to make that? Would they not?"
It's fun. It's fun, and hey, and that's a incentive for you guys too. Find someone that you can meet with, even if it's just one person, even if it's just once in a while. I mean, I wish that we could get together more often than we do, but it really is important to get somebody to just bounce things off of.
Even when we can't see each other,
we email.
We email a lot.
Almost every day.
Yeah, I'm really, really guilty because I don't have kids and I'm working at home. So I'm on email all the time, so I can answer back really fast.
But it makes my day. I mean, it's just so much fun because oftentimes the only adult conversation that I have that's a lengthy conversation is with my husband in the morning and in the evening, and we're kind of tired.
Yeah.
So the emails are my adult conversation.
Remember that, Carol. We're the adults.
We're the adults in my life. I don't have to tell you no, and I don't have to say, will you please eat your food? Just one more bite.
Time. So we usually have our journals out when we're meeting and writing down notes and stuff. So,
it's fun. That's why we can keep track of things.
Yeah.
But anyways, so what are you wearing?
Well, this is one of my finished objects.
I love it.
So this is Trillian. Okay, now I laid my phone somewhere.
Right. I always wanted to know what it looked like.
And mine is quite a bit smaller than the one in the pattern because I had one skein of Malintosh Tosh sock in home, the color Home.
So pretty.
That our friend Carol gifted me.
Oh,
and
what fun.
So I was like, I'm going to make a Trillian out of it. And it did pretty well. Like, there's some pooling every now and then, but it kind of looks natural in these colors, I thought.
It kind of looks like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
At those certain points. Yeah.
So I just followed along with the pattern, and then she says to, when you have like 7% left, save that for your bind off, or for your other edge. Let's see.
Oh.
It's this edge. So you do these to get your 4 yarn over rows in there. I didn't save quite enough.
Aww.
So I had to cut it 1 row short, but I still have my 4 yarn overs to match. But I cut it 1 row short, and then if you look really carefully, ooh, there's a little green in there. So I was like from there to there short.
Really?
And I thought, I'm not ripping all of that out.
No.
So I went into my stash and found a Tosh sock so that it was identical and weight and stuff. And it matched pretty well. Like, their pinks are the same pinks as in the Home, and the creams and stuff. The only color that wasn't already in the Home was green. And really,
it doesn't really scream out at you though, because.
And I usually wear mine like how you're wearing yours, so you're never gonna see that.
No,
anyway.
You're never gonna see it. Good, bravo for you.
Yeah, I was.
I
was too lazy to rip it out.
No, you did win Yarn Chicken, and just in a different way.
And I wrote down some stuff because I'm really bad about remembering everybody's name and stuff. So Trillian is by Martina Behm.
Oh yeah.
And it is a paid-for pattern, but it's worth it. I thought it was really cute.
Don't you love how knitting goes in seasons? Like, I feel like there was a while where it was just all Ysolda teak and everyone was knitting Ysolda. Yeah. And now, I mean, Martina Behm is just coming out with such fun knittable patterns.
You find a designer that you connect with, and
it's fun. Yeah. It's just great. I love the seasons of life. It's just... And the seasons of knitting. There's just seasons of knitting. Remember the Shardigan season?
Yes. I'm not sure what we were thinking.
Well, I wonder if any of them remember Shardigan.
Were those big everywhere, or was it just in our shop?
If you guys know anything about Shardigans, leave us a note on our Ravelry page. Because it would be fun to see if anybody else got into the Shardigan craze.
And I don't want to knock the Shardigan pattern. No. Like, the pattern was great.
Oh, yeah. And it
but some of the combos that we saw were really wild.
I mean, I thought it was a very creative and fun.
Very.
And you use such, the yarns that you use, the Japanese yarns that they originally called for are gorgeous yarns.
And those were my favorites.
Yes.
The ones that were using the Daikato.
Daikato.
Those were really pretty.
Yeah, they were gorgeous. They were to die for. Works of art, really.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Then it got into, it happened that pattern came out at the same time that novelty yarns were everywhere, and so it kind of went a little nuts.
Are we dating ourselves?
That's okay. That's all right.
Oh, well.
And what are you wearing?
Okay, I am wearing one of my shawl patterns that I designed specifically for Christmas, which is so much fun. This is a shawl that it's called the Holly and the Ivy, and it's a crescent shawl. You knit the lace from edge to end, and then you pick up the garter portion in the middle, and you just do some short rows to create the crescent. And I was inspired by the carol, the Holly and the Ivy, because I love that carol. I love Christmas carols, and I just thought it would be fun to do a shawl that was based on that. So you can see there's the holly branches with the little baubles, and then on the edge are the ivy leaves. So and it's done in red. It's a Blue Face Leicester yarn from Spring Tree Road Yarns. And she was on Etsy. I think she might be on Big Cartel now. Oh, okay. But she does have a website, so you can go and look at her website and find her yarns. Her yarns are beautiful, absolutely beautifully done.
It is gorgeous.
So the Holly and the Ivy, and that pattern, I did do it in charted forms and written forms. So
I got to test it that one. So
yes.
I have mine in the other room, and it
That's
always
right.
comes out this time of year. It's a really fun pattern.
Yeah,
to knit.
it's fun. You know, I'm so inspired by the seasons. I've looking at my shawls. I'm coming out with this fall one, which is going to be.
It's really pretty.
It's really pretty. It's not in time for fall.
That's okay. You can.
But,
I think it actually works well to wear in the winter.
Yeah, I think it will. And I have some winter colors that I'm knitting it in. I have my woodland spring shawl because I was inspired by spring. And then I have this shawl, which is kind of a winter or Christmas themed one. I have another winter shawl in my mind that I really, really want to do. So we'll have to see. But it would be fun then to gather all of those patterns and put them in. Oh, and I have a summer one, a drift, which is blue and white with lace on the edge.
That one's really cute. I keep meaning to knit that one. I should do that. Yeah, it's perfect for like
nautical,
the
the
stuff.
beach. So anyway, so I should put those all together in a book so that people could just buy the seasons.
Yeah.
But anyways, so so that's what I'm wearing. The Holly and the Ivy. The fun thing was my mom did a beautiful painting that year that was somewhat themed the same thing. The theme was the hanging of the green, which is a traditional thing where they take all the greens, the evergreens, like the ivy, and there's several different evergreens that represent Christmas, a traditional Christmas, and they put them in the churches. Well, she was inspired by that, and she did painting, and it looks like you're looking at a snow scene scattered with the leaves, and this little bird is pecking at the berries in the scene. So it's really pretty. So it was kind of fun. We were both working on similar things, but in different mediums. You know, totally different mediums. One was watercolor, and the other was yarn. So
and Christina's mom does beautiful watercolors. Yes. And on my next episode, I'm gonna film downstairs, and I have a really large collection of Christmas ornaments on my tree.
Beautiful.
But then around, I have I really like to support artists. So I have some different things, and one of the things I have are some of Christina's mom's watercolor cards that I framed. And so if you're looking for Christmas cards for someone special, she just does a great job. And I'll put her information along the bottom here on the video. I don't know.
So what else?
What have you
finished? Oh,
this one's kind of, well,
I love it.
And I'm looking at this is not the best shirt to wear on here. I'm feeling like really fluffy.
Oh, okay.
But I love leg warmers, but I'm super short, and from my ankle to my knee is the shortest part of my body. So like if I were to buy over the knee boots, they would come up to my hips. Like I'm just so short. So
you're petite.
I'm petite.
Yes.
And the thickest part of my lower leg is lower than what most people's are. So when I try to do leg warmer patterns or boot topper patterns, I always have to add some inches there. So I did a quick little leg warmer.
Oh, I love it.
So it actually will fit anybody from an 8-inch leg, which I would love.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine?
An 8-inch up to
that would be a child.
16 and a half, I think.
That's great.
So, it'll look different because like right now it looks kind of more stockinette. Whereas if it's stretched out, you can see the rib.
But how cute. I love the yarn.
Yeah, that's Madeline Tosh DK. And I think the color is Cloud Surf. And I just took one ball of it and divided it in half, and then so they came out to be the same.
Perfect. I love them.
So they're cozy.
Yes.
I thought, I'll wear these with tights and a little denim skirt and an white Oxford, and then little like Oxford shoes, I guess you'd call them. So I put my shoes on, and I said, "What do you think?" to my husband, who always says, "You look great," and he says, "I don't know about those shoes," and I was like, "That's the whole point of designing and making these."
Oh no, was it his subtle way of?
No, he really was serious. So
I
changed it into my ankle boots, and he said that looked good.
better. Still with the leg warmers on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was one sweater that I designed that I absolutely loved. It was all in Dream and Color, and it was very hard to work out too. It was top down, raglan increases with a smocking cable, so it looks like it was a smocking front, and the smocking came to about here, and then it was just stockinette, so it kind of flared out a little bit. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. But I wore it once, and my husband said, "You look a little pregnant in that." And I wasn't pregnant at the time. So, of course, that ruined it for me, and I couldn't wear it, so I gave it to my sister, and she gets compliments all the time for it. And people say, "Where did you get that? Did you get that at Anthropologie?" And
you should make another one and do it in a different color and see if we said the same thing.
Well, I don't even know if I saved all my notes from it.
Oh, I hope so.
Because I didn't even write it up as a pattern. But it was and I worked on it so hard.
And we have the sweetest husbands.
We do.
They're really super sweet. So
this is uncharacteristic.
Very.
So that's why we're remarking on it, because it's so. So maybe there was something about this one.
I just said this is on my face, like, oh my goodness.
But we're thankful that they save us from embarrassment.
Yeah.
So we do. We have the best husbands ever.
Yeah. We do. We really are lucky.
Oh, this is perfect.
Yeah. Speaking of the best husband, he is getting these Superman socks for Christmas.
Them.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the heel.
Really well.
You did the afterthought heel, right?
I did.
Look at that. Oh, so crisp and so perfect. Oh, good job. You know, I thought afterthought heels would be much harder than they really are.
They're super easy. I am a little worried about, the whole point of an afterthought heel is if they wear out, you can replace them. The only thing I am a little worried about on this one is because it is a stockinette afterthought heel. It's, probably will get worn through a little faster. And he's really hard on his socks.
Is he? Okay. Well, everybody wears their, locks differently.
Yeah. And so I made them a little longer so that maybe the toes would be a little safer than in the past. Not a huge amount, because I didn't want it to flop around. But
where does he wear out?
The toes and the heels.
The toes and the heels, okay. Yeah.
So.
Well, those are the places that just get the most friction.
Yeah.
But
and
they're so beautiful.
There is no pattern. I just did 72 stitches and an afterthought. And I didn't when I did the afterthoughts on my zebra socks, they had you increase like an inch before you got to your waist yarn row and then decrease like an inch after. I didn't do that on here, and I probably won't do it on my ones that I'm making for me. It wasn't really enough to make a difference.
Yeah.
So.
It might be for just people who have different heel shapes. Everybody has such different heel shapes.
Yeah. Now, okay, I have a question, because I'm new to the toe-up afterthought. Is the patterns that I've done, and then what I did on here, when it was about 1.5, depending on the person's foot. For me, I do about an inch and a half before the end of my foot is where I put in the waist yarn. For my husband, I did more like 2 1/4.
Okay.
So I realized then, that it's at the hinge line, isn't it, on the bottom of your foot?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Yes, it is. It's at the hinge. So basically, because you're just you're creating the space. Yep. So it is at the hinge line. So I did the fish lips kiss heel sock pattern.
I have on my list.
It's amazing because it's more than a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of instruction and so I made, and I've showed these before, copies of everybody's foot that I like to make socks for.
Right. Which I think is a great idea.
Yeah, and it's really, really helped me. And she has you draw lines on where you start the, this isn't for the afterthought heel, but where you...
But it works for the, it works exactly for the afterthought.
Yeah.
And I think in the pattern, I think she actually does, she tells you how to do the heel if you're doing cuff down or toe up.
Yes.
So
It's $1. It's such a great thing.
It's $1 well spent.
It's like a whole class in socks.
Yeah, I haven't knitted it yet, but I've read through it, and it was really. Oh, I love it. It's so cute.
Well, you know what it is?
Is that the one from last? Your skirt? It's so cute.
I had used the bottom. I'm gonna make a table runner for Christmas, and
perfect.
I had this top, and of course, how can you throw that away?
No, you can't.
And the buttons,
it's super cute.
So I just sewed it up and put little gussets in it and put a zipper on it. It's not perfect, but it works.
Adorable.
So I'm making socks for JK too, for my husband.
Good.
And here's his little foot.
He has a tiny foot.
I know. And thin.
Okay.
So, well, here.
Oh my goodness. Okay, JK, you have tiny feet. Okay, that's JK against Patrick's foot. Now, Patrick, when I tell
hopefully
you,
they won't ever watch this.
Oh, Patrick watches them all.
Oh,
that's okay. I'm always saying he has really.
Yeah.
They're so cute.
I know.
You can knit a lot faster for him.
No, and they're not using up the whole ball, so I think I'm going to make some matching socks for.
They're very cute.
I'm hoping that they. Now I haven't tried them on to fit him, but they match.
Yeah,
they match it.
Yeah.
And he has very narrow feet, and so he has a hard time finding socks that fit.
Yeah, because they're all for this.
I know. And he sometimes has to wear 2 pairs of socks in order for the shoes to fit right. But I think with a hand knit sock, I think it will fit a little better.
Yeah,
and I wanted to make them because he walks into work. He works in downtown Indianapolis, and he parks way out where it's free, and then he walks in, and he likes it when it saves us money. Mm-hmm. But also it's exercise. It's built-in exercise to his day. Yeah. So, and he's always very careful because his dad has, they have in their family hereditary high cholesterol, not enough good cholesterol in their body. So, exercise always helps with that. So, he's very good. He's very disciplined.
I need to take note from him.
Oh, I don't know, but how do you build an? It's hard
when you're at home all the time. I know. Well, I asked. One of the things I don't like to exercise, as you can tell, and I like to eat. But ditto. Hello. I mean, but I do like to dance. So
what fun!
I asked for Just Dance 2015 for Christmas. So hopefully that'll get me.
I'm coming over.
Moving around a little bit.
You know,
I had it before, and I actually, even before I was sick, I lost like 50 pounds intentionally, and then when I was sick I lost a lot.
You did.
And that wasn't the fun way to lose it. But then after I wasn't sick anymore, I mean, I could eat lettuce and gain weight. So
I think it's all hormones, and it's age, because when I'm nursing I cannot lose any weight, and then when I'm pregnant I gain a ton. I gained 50 pounds with Arthur. I mean, 60 pounds. I think it was 60 pounds. I gained a lot of weight.
Yeah, but Arthur's
he's a big boy. So anyways, it's just all being, our society is crazy in how they make you think you have to be a thick, thin person. Yeah. And some people are born that way, and some people aren't. Yeah. And if we just are healthy, I would like to exercise for the mental peace of mind. Like it's good because it's relaxes and it's a de-stressor. I would like to exercise more for a de-stressor.
And that's what I'm gonna try to do. And I battle fatigue a lot with the tumors, so I have to find the time where I don't feel like I can just lay down on the floor and go to sleep.
Yes.
So it's not always the easiest, but I'm trying to be fine with however I look and am, because hey, I'm here.
We are. We're here, and we're enjoying life, and I think that's the most important thing. But anyway, people can criticize us because we're not perfect, so that's okay. As Amy Beth on the Fat Squirrel says, don't judge, don't judge.
Yeah. Yes. That's right.
That's right. I love this.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you can look at the yarn and tell me what it is. I lost the yarn band years ago.
Why do you do that with this gorgeous yarn?
No, it is really pretty.
I want it.
It is gorgeous.
Wow, I love the colorway.
And it's, I need to make sure that
It's like gray and...
Yeah. I thought the counter stopped recording.
Oh.
I was like, oh no!
We've been yakking, right?
Wouldn't that be terrible? That would be absolutely terrible.
Hey, we've gotten a visit though.
I know. But this is the Sockhead hat.
I love it.
From Kelly. Okay? Is that how she...
Oh, and I'm terrible too. I should be better.
It's Boho Knits. Kelly
Boho.
McClure. Sorry about that. And this was my movie knitting, because in the fall and winter, Patrick and I go see a ton of movies.
Yeah.
So, I thought, I'll be really good. I'll cast it on and do a few rows of the rib before we go into the movie, right? So I wouldn't have to worry. And so I get in there, and outside of the movie, in the light where I could see, I had twisted it. And I hadn't twisted something in the round in probably 6-7 years.
Yeah.
So in the movie, I ripped it out and cast it back on.
And you did it right?
Yeah, I did it perfect. It was fine. So, but this is for Patrick, because
I love it.
He's as he likes to say, a little light on top. So it keeps him warm in the winter with a bunch of hats. So now I have to figure out what my next movie knitting is going to be.
One for yourself?
Maybe.
I
used almost the whole skein.
Yeah.
And I made the depth. It's probably a little bit bigger around, because my gauge was a little looser so that it would fit Patrick. Because I saw online that a lot of them were for like teenagers and stuff.
That makes sense.
So I didn't really freak out that my gauge was a little loose, and it fits him fine. But the depth and stuff is what it said in the pattern.
I love it.
Yeah, I have no idea what the yarn is.
It's
the merino,
yarn.
but I
so
don't
upset?
know.
It's gorgeous. I just love the colorway.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. I bet somebody out there will know. They can tell us.
Do you know what this is?
That's right. We'll play Guess the Yarn.
Yeah, I have no idea.
You get a prize. Oh, well, speaking of which, okay, we're not doing this in terrible order, but this is kind of fun. I'm knitting a hat for JK too. It's not cast on yet, but I finally want to knit one of those Bankhead hats that Dan of the Bakery Bears keeps on talking about. And I just finished this hand spun. I plied it, I think, on the last podcast. I needed to ply it, and it's really pretty because it's browns and blues and grays. And I got it at the Wool Gathering. Yeah?
It's so hard to picture what it's going to look like when it's in the poof.
It is. It really is.
It's really pretty.
You don't know. It all depends on how it drafts and how. But anyways, so I have 2 skeins here. So I think I have absolutely plenty. And I'm going to knit JK a Bankhead hat.
That'll be really nice.
He has a nice one that I knit him a while ago, and it's double thickness. But you can always use a second hat.
Yeah.
So
I love to knit hats in the winter.
They are. You just need them. And now John needs another hat. He has one hat that he wears all the time, but he doesn't have a handmade hat that fits him. So that's on my list
Time
too.
to get on it, Mom. Hello.
Christmas.
Well, I have one other thing that's finished.
Oh, fun.
And one other thing, and then something that started, and it ties quite nicely with Christina's hand spun, because I don't spin. But when we first started this little designing adventure together, as an editor, I said, I'd be happy to edit your projects. And Christina, we worked out a deal where she would spin for me.
Oh, that's right.
So that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I've been holding on to this hand spun forever. And I decided that I needed to make some mittens for myself.
Oh my goodness, they're
So
beautiful.
in there.
Isn't it fun how you just, and again, you don't know how it's going to knit up, but that's the fun of it.
It has like this beautiful tweed. So it's alpaca, silk, and merino that Christina spun for me. And it's a DK weight. And here.
Oh my goodness. They're going to be warm.
So soft and warm. I wore them on Thanksgiving Day, actually, because it was snowing.
Oh, they are soft.
I used the basic mitten pattern. Mitten. That's that would be a cute pattern name, a mitten. The basic mitten pattern from Unique Sheep that uses a DK weight. But I shortened how many decreases up here because I have short fingers. So
it worked out really well.
Yeah, it looks really cute.
Yeah, I
so.
really like it shortened too. That was very smart to do that, just to measure against your hand.
Yeah.
They are so pretty. They really
lovely.
came out well. They are. They're like a luxury.
Yeah. And
wow.
So when I first did this, I was using the yarn, and I have all my hand spun yarns in a drawer that was downstairs. And I thought that I only had 2. I don't know why I thought that, but I thought I only had 2 skeins of it. So I was like, oh, I'll just make some mittens because that'll be enough yarn. And then I went in the drawer and I found that I had a ton of it.
Oh, really? Oh, what
and
fun.
So I decided I needed a hat and a scarf to match. And I thought, I kind of want to do a snood.
Yes!
And it just so happens that in November in Ravelry, and maybe you know how to pronounce her name. It's the Oxford Hooded Cowl by L'Oasi Della Maglia.
That sounds right.
We'll go with that.
Yep.
And it was just released in Ravelry, and it uses a DK or a light worsted.
Oh, perfect.
And it is super cute. So you're not going to be able to get like an idea of what it's going to look like from this yet. Oh no, it's coming off the needle. But
those are beautiful needles.
I love these.
Are those the rosewood ones?
Yeah, they are from long ago.
Ooh.
So I'm making a snood.
Oh, it's
well,
beautiful.
Technically, it's like I said, it's the Oxford Hooded Cowl.
Is it brioche?
And so it's I don't think so.
Okay.
It's so the top part is just a normal rip.
Okay.
And then you go into where you're knitting in the stitch below. So, so it's going to be reversible, and then it has some garter and it repeats, and it's really big.
Really big.
And it actually in the picture you could wear it this way around. I'm not sure if it's going to be big enough for me because you knit it flat, but then you join it in the round.
Okay, that makes sense.
Or you seam it in around. And I'm not sure if it's going to be big enough to double it. I'm hoping so. But you can pull it up.
I love it.
Around.
Oh,
and I just thought, it was so cold last when we were here.
It was.
And
it was
the
bitter.
springiness and the soft. I wish we had like Touch-O-Vision.
Yeah, Touch-O-Vision. That's what we need.
Because it's so soft.
It is soft. It is. The silk does make it feel nice in there, and the alpaca.
It's gonna be so
cuddly. Oh, I can't wait to see this finish.
Yeah. So Christina did a great job of
you're
spinning
so
it up, and it's
You're
not
so
showing very well there.
No,
you can see like it's kind of it being puffier there than down at the rib section.
It's gonna just be gorgeous.
So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Okay, it's like fast forward, please.
I know, but this bag is like full of it. I don't know why I thought I only had one.
Wow.
So
that's awesome though. So now you can have, that will be gorgeous.
It'll be very lovely.
Nice and big and warm. And we're going to need it. Who knows what the winter's going to be like. I mean, if we've already had...
It's been so cold here in November.
Yeah.
And very abnormal for us. And we've already had 2 or 3 snowfalls.
Yeah.
Of like substantial for us.
Enough to go sledding. But we took the boys sledding, so it was cold.
Yeah.
But we went.
And unfortunately, we've had a lot of gray days too.
Yeah.
Like last winter was really cold, but it was a pretty blue, which is not normal for Indiana winters. Indiana, in the winter is really gray and ugly.
It just gets kind of down because it's so gray.
Yeah.
And you really have to think of doing things that are happy.
And on my Hoosier Out and About, I thought about taping the drive down to my brother's because it's really a pretty drive.
It is.
But then I remembered it was winter.
Oh,
and it's just not pretty in winter.
Although I do love, the one thing that I love about southern Indiana is the big white sycamores against the gray backdrop of the sky. And that's very unusual. And especially down there, I remember being in French Lick and just driving along some little river or creek that was there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, on either side, it was the white sycamores. And the sycamores here have white bark with gray. And it's just gorgeous. And their branches are just gorgeous.
Yeah. It's probably, Lost River's along.
Lost, probably it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was beautiful. We were just down in Brown County, which is southern Indiana, Nashville. We stayed at the Artist Colony, and for Jakey and I celebrated our 10th anniversary, which
Happy
was so fun.
That's fun. That was fun. A little getaway.
Yeah. Oh, it was so nice. We slept, and we read, and we knitted. We just had been getting such little sleep because Arthur's been waking up, teething, and so it was. We were different people. We felt 10 years younger. By the second day, we were just like, wow. And just, we both said to not have to say no all the time. I mean, we don't say no all the time, but
they're at the age you have to watch kind of everything.
You have to watch everything because they just can do damage to themselves because they're exploring.
Or each other.
Or each other. So it was just refreshing. But down there, they have the sycamore trees that are so beautiful. And we went out to T.C. Steele's homestead and saw, it's just pretty.
Yeah, it is really.
Even though it is gray, but maybe it's my mom. She always taught us to look at the trees and look at the formation of the trees because she was painting them. So.
And I do like it when it's, when we have like a fresh snowfall and you have the contrast of the bright white and the gray.
Yes.
And it is much nicer in the country down there with that. Up here we tend to, it doesn't last long because it gets black with the city and stuff. But
we love to go
really pretty down there.
Eagle Creek Park because that's our city park.
Did you see what they're doing there today?
No, what are they doing?
So I sent you a link, but I didn't know if you got the email or if you thought it was spam.
No, I didn't get it.
They're having a deer hunt there this weekend.
What?
And so the park is closed this weekend.
Okay.
And they're keeping people from driving in. They have a police officer there. But I was worried that you were going to walk in the back way from your house and like be in the middle of a deer hunt, which would be terrible.
I'm kind of worried too because the boy.
You could text him. Do you have your phone?
My phone. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna
text
him.
Okay.
I was gonna take the boys out.
Yeah, we don't want them. I mean, I think they probably would have people.
I would think so, but there is a back way to the park that you can go in, where there isn't anybody.
Yeah.
And they would be hunting there too, I'm sure.
Yeah. They don't usually hunt in this park, but they've had like an overpopulation of deer for quite a few years now, and so there was even a lawsuit trying to block it.
Okay.
But it got quelched, and so they were.
Well, it's hard. That's one of those issues where it's hard. Yeah. Because I can see how, from an animal conservation point of view, you don't want the deer to starve to death. So it's better to do what they say, culling, but also if they're beautiful and you don't want to kill them. Yeah. It's hard. That's life, isn't it?
It's hard from my standpoint that we invaded their space and then, we're taking over.
I know. I agree.
But, I grew up in southern Indiana, which is more a country environment than up here. And so a lot of people, that's what they will hunt, and that's what they have all winter for food still.
It is. That's true.
So there is that about it too.
And it does help them.
Yeah.
So
it does. I personally don't.
I don't like it.
I don't like eating it.
But that's okay.
I don't have the taste buds for it.
I do love going to the park. I feel like I'm visiting with them and visiting nature. And
they're beautiful
so
creatures.
They are. And they're always right there. Yeah. We can always spot some. Yeah. Maybe that's why.
That's why. They were talking about how they're not really afraid of the humans, and they just, will go everywhere. And I mean, it's not far from a lot of major interstates.
Interstates.
So,
and
which is pretty dangerous
for
everybody involved.
There was one killed.
Yeah.
And that is dangerous.
Yeah, for everybody. Speaking of southern Indiana, so IU basketball season started, and so I started my sock knit along that I'm doing, and Creme is what Crimson's what I'm using if they win.
Okay.
And then Creme is what I'm using when they lose.
Oh, no, they lost.
They lost, and they lost in the preseason. And I could talk about basketball. Like, I am not a sports girl at all. But I could talk about college basketball for ages. So I'll try to keep it short. But
that's okay.
They have kept their drama on the court versus off the court. So if you watched my last episode, you know there was some bad things happening. But so all the drama's on the court now. But yes, unfortunately, they lost. They won this one that they probably should have lost because it was against a much better team. And then they lost this one. And they lost on our home court. And so we had a 43 game winning streak on our home court, which was the third longest in college basketball right now. And they lost to a team that they shouldn't have lost to.
I'm
Defense! Defense! So
how many are you doing per game? Does it 8, okay.
So I calculated how many rows it took per sock for me.
Okay.
And then I calculated NCAA basketball, which is college basketball. I forget that we have international viewers. Hi guys. Our college basketball is kind of funny because my husband said I like it because it has a bunch of little mini kickoffs. So they have exhibition game. They actually have a kickoff for practice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So they have kickoffs for practice, and then they have exhibition games.
Okay.
And then there's the start of the preseason.
Okay.
And then there's the start of the regular season. And then there's their tourney for the group they're in. And then there's the big dance, the big tourney in March. So Patrick's like, you like it partly because it's always something new. So we're still in the preseason. Okay. So we have some exhibition games down here and then the preseason.
Okay.
So as we get into the regular season, we're going to see a lot more Creme.
It's fun though. This is so much fun.
Yeah.
I love it. I can't wait to see what happens.
No.
Because it goes all the way through to March, right?
Well, if we're lucky.
Okay.
So the regular season, they play by conference. So the preseason means that they're playing teams that are not in their conference.
Okay.
And then the regular season, they play teams in their conference.
Okay.
Which Indiana is in the Big Ten, which has 14 teams.
Oh, wow.
Now, it used to be 10. There is a reason why it was called the Big Ten. But now there's 14 because they wanted, they add teams. They add schools to different conferences to get money, basically.
Oh, okay.
And so we added a couple big football schools. And anyway, so you play your conference, and then you have a conference tourney in March.
Okay.
There will be a conference tourney. And then right after that is when March Madness starts.
And
so that's the big tourney. I hope that we make it, but I don't think we'll make that again this year. We didn't make it last year.
You didn't make it last year.
Didn't make it last year. We had a disastrous year last year. We've had, in the last 4 years, I think, maybe 3, we've had a lot of loss to the NBA.
Okay.
So one year we were really good, and we lost 2 guys as the top draft picks in the NBA.
Oh, wow.
So, and they're both doing really well in the NBA.
That's good.
And they both completed their undergrad work before they left.
Good job.
I will say IU's pretty good about that.
Good.
Even if they leave, because a lot of people will leave for the NBA and the NFL and stuff early.
And never finish there.
And they won't finish. But a lot of our IU people...
Good.
I don't know how they do it.
I don't know either.
How do you finish in 2 or 3 years?
I don't know. Hopefully they would have special tutors or special help.
Oh, I'm sure they do. Yeah. When I was there, I had a couple of classes where I had a lot of wrestlers and then women's basketball players in my group, my class.
Okay.
And so they were really good about forming study groups in each class that they took because they miss a lot, so they need somebody they can depend on for notes and that kind of stuff.
Studying with.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So that was good, and so
in the international scene of sports this past week was really sad. On Thanksgiving Day, there was that young player, 25, who died in Australia.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry for all of you guys out in Australia.
Yeah.
That's really, really sad. It shouldn't have happened. It just was one of those freak accidents.
So young, too.
Too young.
Very young.
Too young.
I feel like there's been a lot of that lately.
I know.
It's really young.
I hope we're not pushing our sports
Too
people
hard.
too hard. But anyways.
I think that's part of the culture.
The culture of it. The yarn. What is the yarn? Because the yarn is so beautiful.
Well,
Is
let's
it turtle
see.
yarn?
I actually have some forethought here.
Yay!
So the
Okay.
cream is Malintosh, Tosh Sock, and Antler.
Okay.
But I've never used this one before. The Crimson, I picked it up, I don't know where or when.
Okay.
But it's from Yarn Hollow by Rita Petties. I think that's how she says it.
Yeah.
Yarnhollow.com.
Okay. I've never heard
And
that.
the color is chili red.
I love the red. It's the prettiest red.
Yeah. Because I use colors are cream and crimson.
Okay.
Not red and white. That's Wisconsin.
Sorry.
Cream and crimson.
Crimson. It's not red.
So, yeah. Out of the 14 teams, like red is a color for so many of the teams. So,
well, it's such an eye-catching color.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, you know me.
I know. I love it too.
But yeah, it's working up really nicely, and yeah, chili red.
It's chili red and yarn.
Which,
hollow.
when you think about it, like when you get the
Yeah.
beans in there and stuff, and I think that's a good
chili,
color name.
It is. You've really been using a lot of turtle pearl. That's what the
Superman socks are. And actually, that's funny that you bring that up. My deal
is this
was
new? I like the
the bag.
And that bag too. We didn't talk about that one.
Oh, this bag is.
I love it.
They're both bird leg bags. And if you are a regular viewer of the BrownieKnits podcast, then you've heard me talk about them a lot. I just love her bags. She put some interfacing in that really give it a nice sturdy feel.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And these size bags are my favorite.
They're really
they
cute.
can hold 2 sock balls. So, and she is birdlegbags.com, and she sells on Etsy. She also sells on at Simply Socks in Fort Wayne.
Right.
And this is her little gnome one, which is super cute. And then this one, I believe this is hers as well.
I love the inside lining.
This one was, it's really cute. This was a Christmas kit last year from Simply Socks.
Oh, what
I think it was,
fun.
last year.
Last year it was. I think it was.
I was feeling very bad for myself last year because I was super sick. This was right before they figured out what was wrong with me, and I ended up in the hospital. But I was feeling bad for myself. And what do you do when you feel bad? You go online and you shop for yarn.
Well, sometimes that's okay. It's okay.
I had ordered that, and I'm trying to remember now what. Oh no, that wasn't it. I've gotten a couple kits from them. I was trying to remember what was. Oh, no, this is perfect. I can't believe how well this is working out. This was the yarn that was in it. Maybe it was 2 years ago. I thought it was last year, but it might have been.
It's beautiful.
This was the yarn that was in it. I can't remember what the yarn is. I'll look it up and put it on the bottom.
But look at how it perfectly matches the bag.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, wow.
And the pillow, it uses Attic 24 Lucy's pattern from Attic 24.
It's beautiful.
This is crocheted. But yeah, that was the Christmas kit that year.
I love
Maybe
it.
it was 2 years ago. I don't know. That was just chance that I stuck that in Christina's chair there.
The sock yarn, I mean, I did mine with worsted weight yarn, but I really like the sock yarn for it.
And I think if I remember correctly, I added some rows on the back.
Okay.
Maybe because it was sock.
Okay.
To get the circumference.
It's beautiful. Isn't it fun? All the different things that you can do.
Yeah.
Knitting, crochet, all the sock yarn. That's why it pays to pick up the sock yarn.
It does.
You never know when you're going to use
it. And so my deal with myself last night, this Christmas season, was once I got my Superman socks made for Patrick, because it was the only project I'm going to make for Christmas. I'm
good for
limiting
you.
myself
Good
to
for
not
you.
be stressed. Once I got that done, then I could cast on my Snow White Turtle Pearl.
Oh my
Aren't they cute?
goodness, they are so cute. Oh my goodness.
I don't know if you can see how
you
brilliant
can't see it as well. And yeah, it's really brilliant colors.
It really, really is Snow White. And
Oh, let's see the yarn.
Yeah,
this is
here it is.
Oh wow! I got there a bit.
Yeah, a little bit there.
A little bit. Oh, it's so pretty.
So
oh, what fun.
You know what
She does have nice yarn.
It is
it's
awesome.
Just wonderful.
So this is the turtle toes base.
Okay.
And it's in snow white.
Is it merino and a little bit of nylon? Probably.
Let me tell.
I just love the plying of it too. It's a very rounded.
75% superwash merino, 25% nylon.
Okay.
And it's sock weight, but it's 4-ply.
Okay, that's the nice thing. It's 4-ply because it's so round.
And you get the way she. Have you knitted with her stuff before?
No.
So the way she does hers, you get matching. They match exactly.
Wow.
So your socks. That's why the Superman socks, wherever they went, they match exactly because they're scanned up that way.
How nice is that?
Yeah.
That's very nice. And very, very nice.
I'm trying to be good, but she just added to her Etsy shop worsted weight for a few colors.
Oh my goodness.
No, and
well,
she did. The trench coat color that I love is up there.
And you've got to get that. That's you.
I know, but it's. She's charging what she should for it because it's gorgeous. She does beautiful work, and it is well worth the money. But it's Christmas, and I'm trying to be good.
I know. Isn't that is true.
But I don't know. I'll probably cave. I'm not real good with willpower.
Well, the thing is, I shouldn't encourage you, but it's you. Like when I see that,
I do wear
the Burberry trench coat colors.
I wear them a lot. Yeah.
It's just you.
I know.
It's classically you. Did Heather make you the bag? Yeah.
So
that's just
this bag. You probably, if you watched the BrownieKnits episode, you probably saw it. But Christina's sister makes these,
and that's just so classically that.
So the trench coat colors are in this.
It's just Gina. It's just what I see it. Which is it's fun because it's such a beautiful plaid. Such a beautiful. But anyways.
Yeah.
Well, these are just gorgeous. I love it.
Yeah.
Definitely, she does a good job.
She does a really good job.
Perfectly matching skeins.
Well, and I'm starting to see her pop up more and more on podcasts and Instagrams and stuff like that.
Is she
Canada.
Canada, okay.
So I'm hoping that she's really taking off everywhere. Yeah. I mean, I think she has a very successful business. But I'm noticing maybe just amongst my people I follow and friends and stuff, more and more people knitting with her
the problem is you wanted it to do really well, but you also wanted
to be able to get it. You want to be able to get it. Which I think Simply Socks got a huge order in.
Oh, good. Perfect.
And then she does have on her Etsy site, so Turtle Pearl notions. And Turtle Pearl is all one word. I keep forgetting that. I always try to do it as two.
Okay.
And Carol bought Snow White too when we were up there, and so she's been knitting hers, and she's like, I think it's my new favorite sock yarn. So
I know
she's a convert as well.
Well, it's nice because when you have that high percentage of nylon in it, it wears really well. Yeah. So and it's 4-ply, which again will help it wear really well. So it's a nice investment because it's going to last. So
and a lot of people will say, it's a lot of money to pay for socks. You can't look at it like it's a pair of socks. You look at it as 1, it's a craft, 2, it's a piece of art, 3, it is a pair of socks, but 4, think of all the time that you're spending enjoying making them, and then you get to enjoy wearing them for so long.
It's kind of therapeutic.
I think it's worth it.
Also, if you've never worn a pair of socks, that is handmade,
very different.
You don't understand why. Wear a pair of handmade socks. And then you'll know your feet never get cold.
Yeah,
that's the nice thing.
And I, for a long time, was not a sock knitter. Yeah. So just keep at it. Try different techniques.
Yeah. I mean, because I think that what really makes it feel natural is you finally find what formula works best for you, and then you just do it. Yeah. My favorite way of making a sock is here. These are, this is my card knitting when I go to pick up John from school.
That is really pretty.
Isn't it pretty? This is yarn that I dyed, and it wasn't a good base. I wish it was a 4-ply, very rounded yarn.
It feels
but
thick.
It is, yeah, but it's
nice.
It's not as, anyways. But I always do my garter stitch short row heel because you don't have to pick up the garter stitch, the wraps and turns. And
where do you, like, is there a pattern that you use that from?
No, and I'm sure that there's a pattern out there, and I need to look it up. Or I need to do a tutorial, like a little video.
She does, doesn't she? She needs to do a tutorial.
Because it would be very easy. It's, but I like it for my foot and for JK's foot because we have small heels, and so it helps to fill up our shoe a little bit more.
Oh,
and also it
wears
really well.
Well, I was thinking that it might wear really well on Patrick.
Yes. Now I picked up for my self-striping socks. I picked up some plain colors because I like to do either I'll do an afterthought heel and you can do it in garter stitch, or you can do you just put in a plain color, and I kind of like, and then do plain colored toes. Yeah, I kind of like that. That's cute. But I love the garter stitch heel. It's also, for me, it feels very therapeutic too because it kind of
you've always said that about garter too.
Isn't that funny?
You've always gone to garter when you to knit it and need some comfort.
Yeah, it is very true. So that's my formula. Is I used to do toe up. I do still like toe up. Right now I'm in the top down mode, and with a garter stitch heel, short row heel, and just a plain decrease for my toe, and that's my formula. And I don't need to look at anything. Yeah, it's just.
I know. I keep doing the same thing over and over again. So it's kind of comforting to know that you do that too.
Yeah. Now I will say that I saw on Instagram Disa of Disa's Craft Work. Have you watched her podcast?
No. Oh, see, I'll write this down.
I know, we have to have our little talk session afterwards. Disa is so sweet. She's from, I hope I'm not going to get this wrong. She's from Sweden, and she has the cutest little podcast, and she does little walks in the woods. And I really connected with her because she has 2 boys. Okay. But she has older boys. Her boys are, hopefully I'm not going to get this wrong, Tisa, but I think they're 25 and 20. Okay. So, or 24 and something like 20, something like that. So they're very, their spacing is just what Arthur and John are, but they're grown up.
That's cute. It's like a glimpse in the future.
It's like a glimpse in the future, yeah. And she's just so sweet and very artistic. And so she is knitting along with Amelia, which Amelia is
everywhere.
Everywhere.
You are everywhere.
Don't you think that Amelia needs to start her own podcast?
She should.
I know. Should. I just found that she works at Bloomingdale's.
Oh, really?
And then I found out, I was talking to my mom over Thanksgiving, that my grandmother worked at Bloomingdale's. Isn't that neat?
Yeah, it's funny how everything will connect in life at certain points.
My grandma works at Bloomingdale's in New York City. I don't know if there's more locations of Bloomingdale's.
Probably,
but my grandma lived on Long Island, and so she worked at the New York City Bloomingdale's. So, anyways, I thought that was so cute, a little connection. But they are doing a mini knit-along together, and I saw on Instagram, they're using, I think, or it looks very similar, the Croy sock yarn in this kind of colorway. And they're doing groovy socks. So, and it's a pattern on Ravelry. So I wanted to cast on just to see what the yarn looked like. But they got me, well, I kind of budged into their knit along. I said, can I do that too? And they said, sure. Good. They're so kind. So I'm going to be starting my groovy socks. So I'm going to be doing a different pattern.
Okay. Well, I was lamenting to Carol about that I did the same kind of sock pattern over and over again. And so when we were on our trip to Simply Socks, I actually bought a skein of a very bright orange and Madeline Tosh that I wanted, because they had a pair of Nutkins out of that colorway.
Yes, I love Nutkins.
That they had displayed, and it was really cute. So I'm going to, probably after my Snow White socks, I'm going to do that one.
I love Nutkins. Do you know that there's a I think there's a no pearl version of napkins, or is that the monkey
Really?
sock? No, maybe not. But I love napkins.
I want to do that,
Yeah.
and then at some point I want to do a Hermione.
Oh,
sock,
yes.
because everybody does
those.
those. So.
We should do a Hermione knit along together.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, in January.
Yeah. So we start, speaking of January,
Yes.
so in January on the BrownieKnits podcast and on the BrownieKnits Ravelry board, I'm going to start my block blanket along. So every month you'll get a free pattern that you can get out of either Ravelry or from the BrownieKnits website, which is just BrownieKnits.com.
That's great.
And yeah, I just love making blankets. So
yes, you do. You have beautiful blankets that you've made.
Thanks.
And you're
They're fun.
really good at designing them too.
So some of the blocks
Yes.
are inspired by some of my other patterns.
Oh,
so you'll see some
fun.
stitches that look like, oh, that looks like her blah 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 hat.
Oh, fun.
yeah.
I love it.
So there's a few of those, but then there's some that are inspired by the month that they're going to be released in.
Oh, fun.
So
I love it. So it's a little bit of everything.
a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And there'll be 12 by 12 blocks, and it just uses a worsted weight. I'm saying, just for safety, 200 yards a block, but I don't think it'll be that much.
But that will be like a skein of worsted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I was only thinking was.
Yeah.
And I'm using Barocco Vintage to design.
Gorgeous.
Probably going to use some Dreaming color that I've been saving for years as one, because I'm in the middle of redoing our bedroom into a new color palette.
Oh, good.
And it just so happened that those colors kind of match it. So,
perfect.
Yeah, here it's winter and I'm changing it to like a coral.
Oh, hey,
color.
But that's great because in winter you need bright colors.
Yeah.
What
fun.
Yeah,
so I'm looking forward to that in January. But that means there's a lot of work to be done right now.
True. So there's going to be one block per month.
Yes.
And you'll release it all through next year.
Yep.
That will be
and then at the end, next December, it'll include like finishing instructions for putting all the 12 blocks together. Because I don't want to carry around that huge blanket all year. So they will be in blocks that you'll seam together. But don't be afraid of the seaming.
No.
I'll show you how to do a mattress stitch with garter, which is super easy. Yeah. And then, or you can do a crochet. If you're a crocheter, you can do that.
I think the mattress stitch with the garter is the easiest seaming that you could do.
It's super easy.
And if you've never seamed, it's a great seaming to learn first off. So.
Yeah, and when I was first learning to knit, that was the first seaming I ever did, was a block blanket.
Which is great.
So, yeah, you can just learn a lot. And there's a little bit in there for everybody. There's some easy lace, don't be scared, and the nice thing too is that doing it as a knit along all year, you can ask questions on the Ravelry board, and
it would be a great project if you want to broaden your horizons, or learn some new techniques to start to knit.
And I am all about fun and easy knitting. Like I don't get real complex with anything, and I like to make afghans and small accessories. So you can take a look at my designs and see that there's nothing other than maybe the Madras stocking that I released.
Oh, that's right.
That's pretty advanced, but everything else is, adventurous beginner to intermediate. So I like to be able to watch TV while I knit.
So, and not stress out.
Oh, that reminds me.
Yeah.
JK, I thought JK would love this show, The Game.
The Game, okay.
Yeah, I think it's on BBC.
Okay.
America. BBC America.
Okay.
It's called The Game. And it's
following
MI 5 or 6, I can't remember which.
Fun.
I don't know, it feels like it's from the 80s, I'm not really sure if that's.
Oh, what
fun. But, so it's a whole, spy thing.
Yes,
and I thought of him because of the assets, which we all loved, and Patrick watched that and really liked that. And then The Americans comes back in January. The Americans, don't let little ones be in the room when you watch that.
Because there were some scenes that were just too hard for me.
Yeah.
And I had to close my eyes, and some nights I needed to take a break from it.
It gets intense. But I think it's my favorite show that's on right now.
I think
not on literally right now.
It's hard for me to watch violent things when I have little
I've
ones.
heard a lot of moms say that.
And I feel like
that's pretty natural.
when John got older, it was a little bit easier. But now Arthur's little, and it's just, I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's a hormone thing or I have no idea. But it's odd.
I don't know. TV shows can really affect you. I've been a fainter since like 3rd grade.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know.
I didn't know that.
Well, I have literally fainted on Christina one time.
That's true.
But that was from the tumor. But since 3rd grade, like if things would make me nervous, and they put me through all this testing when I was little. And they discovered there was nothing wrong with me except that if I got nervous, instead of sweating or shaking, I would just pass out.
Aww.
So like health class would be talking about snakes and rats hit the floor. 6th grade puberty film on the floor. So it's really, it was kind of embarrassing, you know?
Your teachers must have been like, oh no.
They had in the file, all of them had to be aware that this was something that happened with me, and like I really knew the nurse very well.
Aww.
And when I was in grade school, there weren't that many guy teachers.
Okay.
And the high school art teacher would come up and teach the grade school art classes. And so poor Mr. Staley, when I was in grade school, and he's since passed, but he had a huge influence on me loving art and craft.
Fun.
But the poor guy, every time I passed out in grade school, he had to carry me to the nurse's office. So
I'm so sorry.
I'd wake up and there'd be Mr. Staley, and I'd be going down the hallway. So how did I get starting talking about fainting? Oh goodness, it totally went out of my head.
Assets and being affected by things.
So when we would watch House.
Oh,
and,
right.
You know, all those medical cases, and then I
pass out. Get out! Oh my goodness! So you can't watch anything medical.
I love them, so I would watch them anyway, and like I'd be like, Patrick, I feel really faint. Because when you pass out when you're that little, they teach you to tell somebody.
Okay.
So that you don't just hit the floor all of a sudden. So I'm really good about like trying to tell people that I'm passing out. But if you've ever fainted, you tunnel in, and not just your vision. Your vision tunnels in. You can't really see peripheral, and it starts going black and tunneling in. But for me, my your hearing tunnels, and so I can usually see a little bit when my hearing is gone, and so I can see somebody's talking to me, but I can't hear what they're saying, and that really freaks people out. But I always tell people, like, if I pass out, it's not abnormal for me to pass out, so like, just let me be for a second, and then I'll be fine. I know how to get out of it.
Yeah, you did, you did get out of it when
but
you were able. You walked out of the restaurant on your own.
That was intense.
It was intense, but that was
I was
really
like, Christina, I'm going to pass out in her lap.
But it worked. It was fine.
That was pretty bad. But that was from, now I know, what that was from.
I know.
But,
and the hot, that's why you were having the hot
It was
flashes.
so hot in there. And it was warm in there.
It was.
It was one crowded restaurant that day.
It was.
But
it was like in January. So
you told us that day that you were pregnant with Arthur.
Arthur, that's right. So maybe February. Yeah, that's right.
So everybody was in, all bundled up and everything.
I think it was a nice weekend, and everybody wanted to get out.
Yeah.
Because we had been all cooped up, so the stores were packed and the restaurant was packed. And anyways, but that was.
It's funny. I thought I probably would have mentioned that by now, but I guess not.
But that's good to know.
Yeah. Oh, I hated swimming class, and I would pass out every time we had to go to swimming class. So one whole year of swimming, I didn't have to do it. I had like a doctor's pass because.
Oh, that's great.
I just would
pass out. Well, it's just not worth it. You're good at other things, so it's okay.
I know. It was embarrassing.
I bet it was embarrassing.
The puberty film was very embarrassing to pass out because it wasn't anything that was in the film.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm talking about this. It wasn't anything in the film itself. It was the idea of sitting with all of these classmates and watching this. And I know they probably had just the girls in there, but still, I didn't make it past the opening credits. It was just the idea of, being in there.
I'm so sorry. Did you get teased about it, or were you?
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Which probably made it even worse.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of tried to laugh it off.
Yeah.
What can you do?
What can you do? Because it wasn't something that you could control.
Right. No, it's not.
It's not
it
something that, it's just,
But my poor mom, she'd get called, because I went to a very tiny school, and so, you know, they had to call her, even though they knew there was nothing wrong with me and I could stay at school and stuff. They still had to call her, and she still had to come.
Oh,
you know,
frustrating.
But
would you then just go back into school, or would you?
Yeah.
But she had to
just
come.
be like, you know,
I'm so
leave me alone.
sorry.
Give me orange juice, and then just leave me alone for a little bit. So
I'm so sorry. You need some smelling salts.
And they did. There was a teacher in grade school who kept smelling salts with her.
What are smelling salts? Do they really smell? Do they smell
They
good
do
or
smell.
bad?
I don't remember what they. I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
We should look
but
it up.
I mean, they really did work.
Okay.
They really would bring me back around.
Okay.
So yeah, Mrs. Carnes, who I loved dearly. I had her for kindergarten. I went half a year kindergarten in Pennsylvania, and then half a year when we moved back to Indiana. So she was my Indiana kindergarten teacher. And then by the time I got to third grade, she was teaching third grade.
Good.
And she was so cute. The thing I remember most about her, she got all of us dictionaries. And in the front, she took the time, and she probably did it on a typewriter back then.
Yeah.
She would type up labels of your name, your first and middle name, and tell you the definition of your name.
How
And so
wonderful.
everybody wasn't that sweet?
That is so sweet.
And so that would be what you got from Mrs. Carnes that year, everyone in the class.
So sweet.
And she always called all of us her angels.
Oh.
And when I got married, you know, I hadn't lived at home down there in like 18 years or something. And so when I got married, she was one of the few teachers from down there that I sent an invitation to. And I knew she wouldn't be able to make it, but I wanted her to have it. And she sent me a card, and she's like, to one of my angels.
Oh,
I just thought that was so sweet. Like, you can have such a huge effect, lasting effect. So,
by cherishing and by just really loving a person.
Yeah.
Even just in a small way.
Yeah.
By telling them that they're special.
Yeah.
Which is what she was doing.
Like, I think that's the first time that I really realized that a name could mean something.
Yes. Isn't that neat?
Which was pretty cool.
Yeah. My mom always told us the meaning of our names. But anyways. Boy, we can really chat.
We really can.
I hope you guys have some coffee or tea. And if you don't, if you need to pause us and get some more. Well, let's see. Back into the knitting bag, right?
Yeah.
So you saw the socks that I'm working on. I do have a finished thing. It's not blocked, and I'm not going to really show it to you, but it is that Life of Leaves shawl that I am going to be releasing soon. I did it there's 2 different ways that you can knit it. And so I did the second version, how you can knit it. So I'm really excited about how the second version looks, and I can't wait to block it out. So you will be seeing that very soon. So I did finish that. I did cast on my stocking. It is so late, and I don't think that it will be finished. But I'm making a Christmas stocking for Arthur. John has a knitted Christmas stocking from me, and it is crimson and cream.
Oh.
So I guess I need to go to IU. Both of them have crimson and cream, and
It's so pretty.
I did go ahead and start it. So I don't think that I will get it finished this year, but that's okay. I started it, and if I do get it finished in time, I will use it. This was just done in an hour, so it does go fairly fast.
How do you get your ferrule not to pucker when you go? Like, so, what do you do?
Sure, I use both hands when I knit, and I know that my right hand is tighter tension.
Yeah, me too.
And my left hand is looser tension. So I put my whatever I want to pop in my left hand. So I want the white to pop in this instance. So
so you will put the color you want to pop in your looser hand.
That's correct. I put the color I want to pop in my looser hand. So I have that in that hand, and I have this in this hand. And then I always make sure it's very loose along the back. Sometimes I even turn it inside out like this, because that creates a little larger circumference. So now I'm knitting it inside out, kind of. and it just gives the yarn a little bit more. And it's amazing how you don't need a lot more, you just need a little bit more.
Because if you get too much, then you can get holes that form as well.
And I would say it's although err on the looser side, because it is amazing how tight you are. It even with doing Fair Isle. So anyways, those are my 2 tricks. I know which hand is dominant, and I put whatever I want to pop in my looser hand, and then I knit from the inside out like this, and that helps it. And I'll go along and check it every once in a while and make sure, because it does change. It does
Sometimes
change.
on my longer runs, I'll put a finger into the back there too,
and make
just to
sure.
give it a little bit extra.
Yeah, and that really helps it to not pucker. I also think that as you get better at it, I mean, just doing it, practice.
And blocking really can help a ton.
Everything needs to be blocked.
It really does.
I mean, everything, even socks, people. Yeah. It makes a difference.
Yeah, and I wanted these to be blocked for this isn't, but I wanted the socks to be blocked for the podcast, but I didn't have enough time for them to dry. So I just did a quick steam block.
Yeah.
So even if you don't have time to do a wet block, steam blocking, except for acrylic, don't use it on acrylic.
Use it on acrylic.
But
melt it.
Yeah. Everything else takes steam really well.
Takes steam really well. So I have that going, and then I have a sweater for Arthur. I picked this up at your...
Oh, I can't wait to see this.
Yes,
it's so cute.
It's that Shepherd's Crazy ball, and let's see, they slipped off. I really need to get those needle keepers that are on Etsy, those silver ones.
I know what you're talking about.
But here, I'm making
it's so cute.
a cute top down. You can't, it's just a little ball.
Oh, I love how it's striping though.
Isn't it
it's so cute.
So here's the Shepherd's Crazy Ball. And I picked up 2 skeins. They're like a sport weight. Sport to fingering.
Yeah, I think it's a sport. Well, I think it is.
I think it is sport. And then I'm just changing it up. So I thought I was going to do something a little different, like more of a pattern, but I like the stripes.
Yeah, it's showing off the yarn really well.
Yeah. So that is fun.
And with his hair color, it's going to look adorable.
I know, because he has this caramel blonde color that's just so pretty. So I can't wait to finish that. I need to finish that. I just need more knitting time. I've been Thanksgiving.
You've been cooking and making beautiful tables.
Then I got, these are some purchases. Let's see. That's all? Yep, we showed socks. So this I've been,
that is really
isn't that pretty? This is hand spun that I just
really pretty.
Finished. This big baby ball of hand spun. This is fun. My younger sister asked me to do a knitting kit for her birthday. She put that on her list. So I'm going to be making her one of my wool felt bags. It's going to be gray and then black and white flower. So we're going to go with a black and white theme. And I have some stitch markers that are black and white for her. And then I have a pattern that I'm going to, it's a cowl pattern that's shells, and it's specifically for hand spun, for 4 ounces of hand spun. This is a little bit more. This is 5 ounces of hand spun, and I got it from. Pretty. Isn't it pretty? I got it from Knit Spin Farm, which is Joanna Spring. She Mary Beth from the Fat Squirrel Speaks talks about Joanna. And they do some things together, and Joanna has just wonderful bats on her Etsy shop, and it's fiber from her farm.
Okay.
She was listing this very specific fiber. It was Clune Forest sheep fiber, which is a rare breed. So it was really fun to get a hold of that.
It's gorgeous.
And then she had this bat, and it was Half Moon Cookie. And it had Sari Silk, Silk Knolls, Merino Fin, Chevrolet, and Corriedale, Blueface Leicester, and Angelina in it.
It's so nice.
Isn't it nice and springy?
Very nice.
So it's going to be a little bit self-striping. It's got some long stripes of black in it and some long stripes of just white. And what I did is I spun the 2 ounces of Clune Forest really thin, and then I spun the Half Moon Cookie Bat, which is like 3.5 ounces, a little thicker, and then I applied it both together. I thought I was going to run out of the Clune Forest, but I actually had enough to on itself to apply left over, so I must have spun it really thin.
It's so cute.
So anyway, so this is going to be a kit for her birthday.
That's
and
gorgeous.
It's fun. It's fun because it's local, and it's a local farm. If you follow, you should follow Joanna on Instagram. It's Knit Spin Farm. She just has beautiful pictures of her farm and her sheep, and she actually has a calendar that's available through Redbubble.com of her farm pictures and snow. It's just beautiful. So I really enjoyed spinning up her bat. It was a very good bat, well made, very fluffy, and my sister loves local things. Her and her husband are putting together this wonderful local grocery store down in Fountain Square, which will be open soon.
I was going to ask you when it was going to be open.
It should be open in the next 2 weeks.
Oh, okay, good.
But I will let you know when it's definitely open, because I don't want you to go down there without it being open.
Well, because we're going to go down on the 18th, I think it is, to that area.
Yes.
So I thought if it was open there,
Yeah.
I might swing in there.
Because I tell you, the cheeses and meats that he can get.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it.
And he is such a connoisseur of that. So he knows he can curate a cheese plate for you really well. So, anyways, so I'm really excited about this, giving her a local present.
It's gorgeous.
So, and then I found out
thoughtful.
that Joanna is only like 30 minutes away from my house.
Really?
I'm like, I want to call her up. Of course, I don't know how to work, but I want to email her and say, hey, can I bring the kids out to see the animals? But I don't know if she has farm open days or whatever. But and then this is some yarn. This is some lace that I just picked up, and I'm going to do a another version of my Life of Leaves shawl. Can you tell I'm like addicted to this shawl?
That's good.
What is the deal?
That's good.
When you want to knit a pattern.
It's a very creative pattern.
This is going to be the 4th time I knit it, I think. So I guess I need to give away some of the shawl versions that I've made. But I thought this would be a really pretty winter version, because it has grays and white and dark charcoal in it. So this came from Estonia, and on Etsy, and I wanted to tell you guys about this shop, but it's just, I think it's County on Etsy, and she has free shipping internationally. Free international shipping.
How does she do that?
I don't know, because it works out to be such a great, I think this was $12, $12 US dollars.
That's a great deal.
It's about 800 yards, I think, of lace weight yarn. So I got one of these for one of the other versions of my shawl, and I'm going to be able to get 2 shawls out of it. Wow. Isn't that amazing? So
$6 for a shawl.
I know.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
There you go. Economical. Good job.
Well, it's beautiful wool. It's not
It is.
the softest.
No, but it's very pretty.
But what I love about it is that it's the right kind of wool for really blocking out a project and really showing the character of the stitches. So
and the pattern you can use lace or fingering.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So, which is nice. It's nice when you can change a pattern up a little bit.
Yeah.
So
it is.
Anyway, so those are my fun little things. I guess I'm going with a gray.
I was going to say, like, usually I'm all the grays and browns, and Christina's the color, and then we like flip-flopped.
We flip-flopped, which is kind of fun.
Yeah. It's very different.
But anyways, so this is a time of year where I am so inspired to craft and create. And it's really hard to fit it all into 1 month.
Yeah.
It's like we need Christmas to be 2 months long or something. So, but it's fun.
It is fun. And I say that I'm only going to do one gift, but then I've already started, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do it.
I know.
Because I told I probably won't knit anything for him, but I told my nephew that I was making Uncle Patrick Superman socks for Christmas. And so then a little bit later in the conversation, I said, what do you want Santa to put in your Christmas stocking that's at Aunt Gina's house? Socks.
Aww.
And so and then orange socks, yellow socks, green socks, like
did he see
socks.
The colorway? And that's
he didn't.
Why? Okay,
No,
he didn't. Okay.
I think
Yes.
when you're that young.
Yeah.
Oh, we've just been talking about socks.
Yeah.
So, but we got him a bunch of he likes all the superheroes and stuff.
Yes.
So Patrick picked out all these socks for his stocking. So
you could do really quick, like worsted weight tube socks.
yeah. Well, I thought about I have a little bit of leftover from the Superman, so I thought about doing like little bands, wristbands or something. But we'll see.
That would be fun.
We'll see. Those would go pretty fast. So.
And he would think they're cool.
Yeah.
So
he was funny.
That's so cute though.
Yeah, it was cute.
Aww.
But we do a gift for them, and then I have a handmade stocking for each of them. I have 3 nephews and a niece, and I have a handmade stocking for each of them. And then Santa fills their Christmas stocking here, and then when they turn 18, they'll get to keep their Christmas stocking.
So nice. They're gonna want to keep it here, so you keep filling it.
Yeah, and I might give into that because I don't, 18's only like 8 years away for one of them, and I think, how did that happen?
That's scary.
So, yeah,
that's really scary. Life goes by really fast.
It really does.
You just have to enjoy the moment and what you have, and otherwise, yeah. So
flies on by.
But that's so fun. They are beautiful stockings. Are you going to show them when you're downstairs?
I'm going to do that in the Christmas
good.
episode. Yeah.
Okay, you guys will enjoy that. They're beautiful.
Yeah. And I used it as, you can kind of see like my life of knitting because they were spaced apart. And so I had never done Fair Isle when my first nephew was born. I had just learned how to knit when he was born. And so my first Fair Isle project was his stocking. And then,
good.
Yeah, and then I did, when Jack was born, I had never done needle felting, so I did needle felting for his. And so with Ella's, I had done the techniques before, but I really wanted to do a specific stocking, so. And she's the only girl, and she was last, so I was like, come on, be a girl.
So. It's a stocking for a princess. It's beautiful.
Yep. And she loves princesses.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, she can hang with the boys. She has all of her cousins are boys on both sides. She's the only girl. Wow. So she can hang with the boys definitely, but she likes a good dress up and princess, and
it's gonna be fun when you guys can go out and do your nails and that's coming up
to it.
Yeah.
She can be girly when she's pretty little right now. She's really little, but
it comes by fast. Yeah. So.
But I will say that we just went Christmas shopping the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and I had the most fun shopping for Ella because I've been shopping for
Yes. Oh yeah.
So I've patiently gone through Lego after Superman shirt after all of that, and so it was fun to go shopping for the little girl.
That is fun. I have no clue. I mean, I have my niece, but and it's fun to buy her. Sometimes I get her shoes for gifts because they have such cute shoes in the girl aisle, and they have such a narrow selection for boys, and they could have such cute shoes for boys.
They could, yes.
But they have such a little selection. It's so frustrating. But anyway, so I love picking out shoes for her. But I have no idea what girl toys because...
Well, Ella really loves to play dress up.
Oh, fun.
So we actually went to Kit and Caboodles where your mom had her book signing.
Yeah.
And they had some really fun.
Oh, fun.
So
good.
I got her, I think it's the Music Box ballerina.
Oh, yes.
But it's not in pink. It's in like a green color.
Oh, how pretty.
But yeah, it's really cute. And it has this huge tulle skirt on it.
What fun. She'll love that.
Yeah, I actually had to bundle it and put it in a boot box.
Really?
My boots that come up almost below my knee. So that's how big it was and poofy. So I'm like more excited than she.
No, she will be excited.
I hope so.
She will be very excited. She won't be able to, her mom won't be able to get her out of it.
Yeah.
Because,
it's really cute.
That's so sweet.
I wanted to buy the tiara to go with it, but I didn't.
Oh.
I was like, that's probably a little too much. But
for birthdays. You could do
Maybe. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because tiaras, there's nothing like a tiara. Did you wear a tiara for your wedding?
Yes, sort of. It had like a veil down on it, but it was like a really small one.
I had a tiara because it's just
it really
fun.
does make you feel special.
It does, and I still have it. I have it in my box. But
You have to. At the end of this video, I'll put one of my wedding pictures, and we'll put one of Christina's on here. So when I do the edit, I'll toss this on.
Sounds good. That sounds good.
Yeah.
My husband hasn't changed. He looks the same. He's so cute.
My husband's changed a lot. He used to wear glasses, and he has contacts now. He still wears his glasses sometimes, and then he had full facial hair.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. That would really change it.
And he doesn't anymore.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That would really change it.
He looks pretty different. When he shaved off of his facial hair, he didn't tell me he was going to do it. And I had known my husband before we got married. I'd known him for like 6 years. We were friends. We worked at the same place together. And I'd never, ever
seen him without it.
And so I came up. He was coming up the stairs, and I came back around the top from the top. And I screamed.
Yeah.
I was like, "What did you do?" And he just looks so different. And now I'm used to him without it. And it would be shocked if he went back to it.
Well, I remember when I cut my hair really, really short, and then John saw me for the first time. He was just like,
"Who is that stranger?"
He was so shocked.
Yeah.
And he really took a minute to just look at me, and so, because he hadn't ever seen me with short hair. So it's amazing how those little things
makes a huge difference.
But anyways, so that's all I have.
I think I've gone through everything I can show. So I'm Gina, and this is Christina. And you can find us on Ravelry. We both have Ravelry boards. So I'm the BrownieKnits Ravelry board. And Christina, you are
on Knitter's Life.
And I'm actually BrownieKnits all pushed together, one word, if you want to friend me on Ravelry. And that's also my tag for Instagram and, all those others. I always struggle, like, do you list every social media? Because, like, there's so much. So I usually only mention Ravelry and Instagram, but I am on Facebook and all that other stuff, too. Twitter I don't do. I don't know.
It's just not me.
It didn't pull me in.
Yeah.
Instagram, I think, is so great for the knitting and crochet community. Because I do crochet as well. I don't spin, but I crochet and knit. So I hope you enjoyed our crossover episode. I am a big TV watcher, and I always get upset when they do crossovers between shows that are connected, but I don't watch both. So
that's funny.
So
hopefully we haven't upset anybody.
This one's okay because you still only have to watch one.
That's
right?
True.
So, but I don't have to watch Private Practice in order to find out what happened on Grey's Anatomy, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So, which Private Practice isn't on anymore, but anyway. So, this is our crossover episode.
So, it's fun. We need to do it again.
Yeah, it has been fun. Yeah. It's probably a lot longer than both of us usually do. So,
but that's okay. You can watch us in parts.
Yep.
So, anyways.
Yeah, and so you have both YouTube channels if you want to subscribe. And I'd love to hear from people and things that you want to see in our podcast or things you have questions about. If you want to ask questions and we'll answer them in future episodes or anything like that.
Yep. All of that is fun. Interaction is fun. Community is fun. So, and you can find me on Instagram as Knitter's Life and Ravelry as Christina Wall. And you can feel free to friend me, put me in your friends. It's fun. Yeah. So
I always get so excited when I get a subscriber or a follower or somebody asks a question. Like,
I wish I was on. I wish I could be on more often, but it's I have to find computer time where the boys aren't like asking me. They see me at the computer and they just come right over.
What you doing? Yeah.
So usually it's late at night and I have to wait several days or even a week or two. And this past week with the holidays, I wasn't able to get on Ravelry at all. So I'm so sorry if there's questions that are waiting for me or messages. But you guys are all so sweet and it's a lot of fun. So
yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
All right, well, I smell lunch.
I do
You
too.
smell it.
I do too. And it's been making me hungry.
I know, my stomach's growling. So we're going to go have, well, a quick little story. We're also going to have cheese and rice crackers because my husband said yesterday, do you want to go get some special cheese for you and Christina to have? And I was like, well, I think we're okay. And he's like, oh, okay. And I said, are you wanting to go to the wine shop? He's like, they have a special on whiskey.
Oh.
This special whiskey or scotch. I can't remember
For
which
Black
one.
Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, we'll take
That's
some cheese and crackers.
Oh,
So
yes,
we
we
go
will.
get some. So anyway. All right. Well, I think that's everything. And we'll see
fun.
you soon.
We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.